Hello, my name is Theresa McMorrow Jordan, and I am the author of Get Crowned, Sparking a Heaven on Earth Transformation. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you'll buy my book, but even more, I hope you'll join me in this great work. Again, my name is Theresa McMorrow Jordan. A little bit about me is that I currently serve as the Director of Team Services HR at Alpha Mega Winery in St. Helena, California, which is just north of Napa. I am the mother of two sons, Seth and Jeff. Jeff is married to beautiful Becca, and they have two sons, Zeke and baby Elias, who actually only lived an hour. And so in December we lost Elias, but he is very dear and near us. I have 7 brothers and 6 sisters-in-laws, and right here on this staircase you can see all of my brothers and myself, and at the bottom is my beautiful mother, who we lost in July. So I don't know how many of you have had a rough year, but our family has definitely had a tough year. And thankfully for our faith, we know that one day we will meet again. So early in my life, I was a nun for 12 years. After I left the convent, I studied in China. I have traveled to different places, to Ireland, England, to Rome and the Holy Land. And I have traveled across our country a number of times, this beautiful country of ours. I attribute my deep faith in God to my father. He was definitely came from an Irish Catholic family and went through a lot of adversity, so his faith in God was never wavered. My mother, as you can imagine, with all those kids, was a selfless person, very loving, very giving to us, and I believe that was the modeling from her that probably opened the door for me to consider going into the convent. So in the years, and by the way, I was not even, the nuns had to talk to the local pastor to get a recommendation for me to go in, or kind of do a reference check. And just so you know, that pastor goes, "I'm sorry, who?" So I was not a likely candidate, just to keep you clear on that. But I definitely have always had a heart for people and for souls. So in the convent, I learned how to be mindfully present to those we served, because many times we would never meet again. So it was really important to be able to be present with them, and that made them very dear to me, and I kept them in my heart throughout my life and prayed for them, brought them to the Lord throughout my life. And I have a beautiful treasure chest filled with names of people that I have kept. And it's symbolic because there's even more people than's in there, but it's just been a practice that I have kept. But I really, truly love them in Jesus. I really did. And that is how I walked back into the world. And leaving the convent was quite a shock, I'm just going to tell you. It was, when I went in the convent, hardly anyone got divorced. And when I came out, it was probably 50-50 12 years later. So personally, I have seen the slide that our country has gone through, and the suffering that families, have gone through, and communities as a result of all of that. So my book is really, probably the #1 question I receive from people is, why did you leave the convent? And the thing that's really funny about that is that I, for years, asked myself the same question because I was writing music up to the end, and I definitely felt like a fish out of water. I think I fell in love 1,000 times because I loved everyone. I loved everyone. And so it was very horrible, I have to say, um, trying to date. Ugh, it was awful. I wasn't very good at it. But I think that what happened finally, just years later, after I was married with children in my husband's family's Baptist church, is when the Lord chose to give me an answer, because the sisters had released me from the vows and the bishop and church had released me from the vows so I could leave the convent. But I really didn't make my vows to them. I made my vows to God. And so all those years I was looking for a sign from God, about being released from that vow, because a vow to God is really, really serious. And so it is something you have to work out. So he blessed me many years later with this beautiful sign and this book as a result of that grace that he gave to me. So inside of this book, and it's not a big book, it's a very small book, but it's very rich. I share with you the special messages that God has for you. Why did he choose me? Trust me, I asked the same question. Why didn't you, this is so important, God. Why wouldn't you give this to Oprah or the Pope or the Dalai Lama or somebody that's everybody's listening to already and respects, and has a lot of credibility? I don't understand why you would give me such an important message. And he basically pressed on my heart that the reason why he chose me is because he knows he takes my breath away. And that's true. That is true. He does take my breath away. This world is so beautiful, and this book is just filled with so much love, and I hope that the message pierces your heart and helps you to understand that there is nothing, no choice you've made to date, nothing that you've done in this life that he will not forgive, that he will not release you from. He did it for me. He can do it for you. He will do it for you. And there's so much peace. And that is the moment when you can step in to your highest self, is when you come to that honesty, that level of authenticity, that being in the presence of such a beautiful, perfect being, God, just walking into their company. I don't know if you've ever known anybody that was kind of holy or somebody you held in high esteem. When you get around them, you're not using that bad language. All of a sudden you're in good mood, and you just are happy to be around them, and you can't serve enough. And if they need anything, you're opening up your wallet. It's because it's kind of a hint. It's just a glimpse of what it is like as you get closer and closer to God. And it's just beautiful. So also in my book, God helps me share with you how to make this world more like heaven. And it is an assignment. For years ago, it dawned on me, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So inside of my book, I talk about ways. I just start the conversation. I could have written volumes on it, but how do we make this world more like heaven? And I think it's hysterical that he's giving this message to me right now, because it seems like this couldn't be the worst time ever to have that as an objective, because it just seems so dark, you know, with all the fear and all of the hate mongering that's going on across our country and across the world. That the world is very desperate right now. And so, but God created the universe, so, you know, if this is what he wants done, then hello. If he can inspire enough, and we can inspire enough people across the globe to link up our arms, I really believe we can make it more like heaven together. And so inside of my book, Get Crowned, are the steps. I say that there are steps. There's a process in which you can release the fear and the shame and the guilt and everything else that you might be carrying around, and that there are steps that you can take to that new kind of peaceful and empowered and fresh mindset. Also inside of Get Crowned is secrets to a new life and a new frame of mind. And the crown is a mirror. So the Get Crowned is talking about when you go to meet your maker. All of us one day will die, and all of us will meet our creator. And how do you want that to go? And in our scriptures, it says that we will be receiving a crown, and that crown will mirror what we did with our gifts and talents in this life. And I know when you first gave me that message, I didn't sleep all night because I thought, oh my God, my crown is empty. I don't have anything on it. I haven't done anything yet. So I was so upset I couldn't even sleep. And in the morning, he showed me my crown. I can't explain to you, but on the front of my crown is this royal diadem. And he said to me, again, not audibly, you gave me your youth, which is, of course, the 12 years of the years that I was in the convent. And only he could say that. So when he gave me that message and he showed me my crown, that's when I knew that this was a sacred assignment from God, that he wants this message out, and he wants people to understand that they are going to be held accountable for their life on earth, and he is lovingly championing us from heaven. And all those who love us in heaven are also championing us. And I have another book coming that talks about 100,000 portals of grace and how that works, the grace from heaven and earth, and how we have that other resource that we haven't yet discovered how to utilize with our spirit and our soul. So in this life, we have, in this book, Get Crowned, I bring forward a way to live your life. Just shift a little bit and live it for that crown. And of course, Get Crowned is an invitation to be a part of the grassroots community. And in our community, we will be supporting you and giving you, ways to draw nearer to God if you have never had God much in your life, or to renew your commitment to God, and also bring forward ideas of transformation. I have a lot of ideas that are fun, and but this is going to be a community. We'll have mastermind groups, and we'll go after funding, and I have a lot of ways or thoughts of how we can generate money and the rest of it. So just keep in mind, I share about Mother Theresa, that she didn't have anything when she started out to take care of the poor on the streets of India. So God pressed on my heart that he needs more Mother Teresa's, and she was one, but there's no reason why there couldn't be thousands and thousands of Mother Teresa's. In fact, there are over 10,000 in her order now, but what I'm saying is that there could be more and more and more endeavors that can work together to make our world more like heaven. So I hope you will join me. I hope you will buy my book, and I hope you will share it with others. And I hope to know you. I hope to get to know you. And I make this promise that I do pray for all those who I cross paths with in my life. And so you coming here, leaving your name, asking for prayer, I promise you I will keep you in my daily prayers. But more than that, I need some strong, amazing people to join me. So one more thing. Again, my name is Theresa McMorrow Jordan, and I wrote Get Crowned, Sparking a Heaven on Earth Transformation. And if you go out to my little booth and sign up, you're going to be entered into my contest. I'm going to be giving several crowns away so that you could have a symbol of reminding you to live for God and just to keep the crown in mind. And I hope you will buy my book. Everything that, everything helps to get this work going. And I hope to know you soon. So thank you again. Bye.